very often, when there's a choice between a man and a woman to do the same job, especially within the industry, very often they'll turn to the man.
True.
Even if the woman has more experience.
Then of course, my parents were like, but there's no connection to the films or anything. How are you going to do that, darling? And I said, I don't know, but I'm going to do it.
And I feel like all the films that have come out so far, I mean, I don't think they've done justice to Kashmiri culture, music, tradition.
Yeah.
It's mostly political or, whatever, the same thing again and again.
I really want to know what gave her the strength to just up one day and be like, I'm going to do this for a living, when no one had done it before.
Started evolving from there. But right in the beginning, it was a little intimidating.
Right.
I think not a little, a lot.
Yeah.
This wasn't my world at all. I wasn't comfortable with it. I wasn't familiar with it.
I want to ask both of you, if you got a chance to meet Raj Begum, what is that one thing would you like to ask her?
Oh
Gosh.
gosh,
There'd be
many
more than
things.
one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to ask her how she realized that she had a beautiful voice and that she wanted to sing. Because I think that's always this epiphany moment in your life when you realize you can act or you can sing or you can perform or you can have something and you have this talent and you want to share it. And I think this is such an important turning point in your life when you first realize it and then you act upon it. So there are these two things which happen. I would have loved to ask her for, like what was it that... And also I would like to ask her what she's learned in her life through her journey that she's taken.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Saba?
I think, in the time that she lived in and the society that she inhabited, I really want to know what gave her the strength to just up one day and be like, I'm going to do this for a living, when no one had done it before. She was a maverick, and I'm really curious about where one gets that kind of strength.
Absolutely.
It's easy to be in an echo chamber, and where you are supported and, propped up and, you have the support, but to fight against all odds, not just like within your family, outside, society and everything, to be, that to me is like incredible. I'd love to know.
Yeah. But both of you, of course, way ahead from her times. But tell me, did you also have a moment where you felt that I dared to dream and now I'm going to pursue this?
No. I think my parents really were just the most supportive people on earth. And from the get-go, no matter what, and every day there was a new career choice. It was like, today I'm going to be an athlete. They're like, all right, be an athlete. Now I want to be a dancer. Okay, go ahead, be a dancer. So, there was a lot of that. And they basically said, whatever makes you happy, child.
Amazing.
So and I think now, more people have asked me this and I'm like, shit, did I miss out on something? Should have had a little bit of rebellion in my life. But no, not really.
Yeah. What about you,
No,
Soni?
I had this whole thing. Yeah. So I decided when I was 12 that I want to act because the script came to me for a pantomime, and the minute I started reading that script, I was only 12, but something happened to my body physically, and like the blood flew faster through my veins. So then I was like, this is what I want to do. And then of course my parents were like, but there's no connection to the films or anything. How are you going to do that, darling? And I said, I don't know, but I'm going to do it. And it was tough. It wasn't easy because I had to really, from no background, actually start carving out. And in those days, it was more difficult for everybody.
Absolutely.
So we didn't have all the platforms we have today. As Soni films. So and of course theatre. Yeah, that was
Absolutely. I'll come back to you, Soni, but also Danish, I wanted to ask you, every time we see a film based on Kashmir, we expect there will be conflict, there would be violence, but this is probably the first time that we're seeing the real lives of people from Kashmir. Was that always a conscious decision that you took, that you wanted to show it this way?
Absolutely. Actually, I was quite tired because I'm a Kashmiri myself, grew up, I know about Kashmir, the landscape, the culture, the music, and I feel like all the films that have come out so far, I don't think they've done justice to Kashmiri culture, music, tradition. It's mostly political or, whatever, the same thing again and again. And I think it's very important to, see success stories of people from Kashmir and celebrate them and empower the youth so they can pursue their dreams. It's very important to make films like these now because, people in Kashmir also want to see some change in cinema and the narrative,
Right.
And everybody's complaining about it. Nobody, they've been waiting for film like this from Kashmir. So I think it's a great honor to be able to make this film.
But tell me, how's things in Kashmir right now when it comes to art and music? Because religion-wise, it's still looked down upon.
It's revolutionary right now, to be honest. So a lot of youth are into music and acting, and it's completely transformative right now. You can see a lot of people in films and music, independent artists sharing their work. It's completely revolution. But I do see women still struggle, because of the culture, a lot of societal restrictions. That is still sort of applicable, just like in this film. But there are fighters, there are dreamers who want to pursue their dreams and make it happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
but there is a change.
Absolutely. And so I wanted to ask you, of course, right now we're seeing the industry has evolved, but tell me about the time when you entered the industry. How was it, especially for women?
It was a bit weird because it was very alien to me, my upbringing and everything. So I couldn't really relate to the people I was meeting, or perhaps the roles that I was, one or two of the roles that I was given. I couldn't relate to them, but I had this thing about being an artist and an actor, and whatever I was given, I would do. So I did it, I embraced it. But I wouldn't say it was what it wasn't my comfort zone at all. Of course, along with that, then there was a film like 36 Chaurangi Lane, which came, or then there was a film like Saransh, which was of course my zone, and Mandi, and all those other things, which were absolutely wonderful films. And then then things, started evolving from there. But right in the beginning, it was a little intimidating.
Right.
I think not a little, a lot, This wasn't my world at all. I wasn't comfortable with it. I wasn't familiar with it.
Yeah, but the world was kind for women, especially from someone who's come from a background from
The world is very simple. This is an industry, this is a business. You have something to offer. We will see if she can deliver the goods, we will take her.
Right.
So that is it. She's either a good actor, or she's beautiful, or she's something, or she's something. You have to have something to offer.
Yeah.
Only then will they even look at you.
Right.
It's like
right. Yeah. And from toilets, pay disparity, credits, I mean, the fight continues. Saba, tell me, as an artist right now, what's your fight like on all these aspects, especially being a woman?
I feel like, the kind of money being pumped into, say, male-led films, I don't think female-led films get that kind of push.
Yeah.
Even now, even as we've started telling female stories, even as we've started telling, talking about women, writing better characters, even so, the economies are still kind of skewed in quite wildly in the favor of men. And even though brilliant scripts are being written, and we're still making pretty rudimentary scripts on the other side, I find that there's an economic tussle, so there's that. And I think we were talking about this earlier, that very often, when there's a choice between a man and a woman to do the same job, especially within the industry, very often they'll turn to the man.
True.
Even if the woman has more experience, like DOPs, gaffers, they're more and more of, technical artists, technicians within the craft. So, that's always there. But I find that that's across all kind of businesses, all kinds of, it's a constant struggle.
Right.
To be a woman. And it just carries on.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Even for the kind of films you're able to make. Mainly,
True.
This is an exception, and this is
truly
something that Danish struggled and made against all odds. Let's put it this way. But and he managed to get funding. But we don't get funding. You can have a great script, but if it just actually has like 3 central characters, women, it's very difficult to get. They love it, but they won't fund it. Why?
But both of you, have you ever been belittled by men in the industry? Have you faced that, or were you lucky enough to avoid such situations?
No, I have.
You have? You want to talk about it?
No, I cannot.
Okay.
It's not possible. Yeah, but it exists. It's in the industry, but it is there. But it was never very obvious or in your face or anything like that. It was just, I think, in terms of attitudes,
Yeah. Saba?
If I were entirely honest, no, I haven't encountered it, but that may have something to do with me and how I am as a person, and I will not stand for it. And I think most people who work with me know that I will not stand for it. So, or I've chosen to work with people who would not.
True.
Yeah, that's. Maybe it's that. I've a chicken and egg situation here. But yeah. So I think I haven't, but not. I haven't not observed it. I have observed it, I've seen it happen to other people. There is one place that it has happened to me. I cannot talk about where it happened to me, but it happened at the hands of a woman.
Oh my God.
Yes, can you imagine? And completely skewed, you know. And so that happens too, you know.
Right.
But I can't say.
It hasn't happened much also, I have to tell you
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It wasn't very bad.
But I think I like to think that I'm kind of privileged in that. Because
Absolutely,
I have
we do feel
dozens
that.
of stories from other friends
absolutely.
who are within the industry that are really not okay.
Truly.
And from people who are very high up in the chain.
Yes.
It's not like you have to be a struggling actor to have faced something like this. You face it when you're at the top.
Very much.
From all kinds of spaces, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it is there. I'm sure it's there in other industries as well. It's not just the film industry.
I think a woman who knows her mind and draws her
it's tough,
boundaries
it's tough.
is a very scary creature.
Yeah.
For the very patriarchal world that we built.
Absolutely.
And then all machineries will go into action to bring her down.
She's
and
first
say-
act difficult. Yeah.
Difficult.
Yes.
Difficult is
That's
difficult is such a loosely thrown word.
True.
Like, that's a very difficult person to work
Yeah,
with. Why?
yeah.
Because she drew her boundaries. She asked for the amount that she deserves.
She didn't play ball.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Right. Among all of this, when you have a man like Azad written by another man, I mean, Danish, that was such a pleasure to see it. I mean, I was constantly blushing throughout his scenes. I just fell in love with Azad for sure. How important was to have that character to kind of be that support for?
I think the film is inspired. First of all, it's not a biopic. It's
Yes.
inspired by Raj Begum's journey. And also, if you see her story, she was also supported by a lot of men when she was at Radio Kashmir, because she was the first woman who entered Radio Kashmir. It was full of men around her. But there were people who, initially they were hesitant, but then she, because of her courage, her talent and courage, she was able to convince all these men to be friends with her, to support her story, right? So Zan was one of them, right? Zan's character Azad. He's a poet, and he is inspired by her voice too. So I think it's great to see men supporting her, because it also encourages this narrative going, forward, and also enables, normalizes this, right? Which is so important, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah.
May we be blessed with directors like Danish.
Sweet.
Truly, like allies like Danish.
Yes, absolutely. And Soni, also very interesting when Noor gets married, although she knows that he's a very progressive man, but she asked him that I can leave singing for you. I mean, it's always the woman who has to sacrifice in marriage. You too, your career also took a backseat when you got married, had kids. I mean, tell me about that. Does that become a little resentful sometimes, that why does a woman only has to do all
No, I
this?
never felt that way. I never felt resentful, because that didn't come from anybody, from my husband or me. It came from the business itself. Till I pushed back, and I just said, no, this is not going to happen. I'm going to do what I have to do. And luckily television came in just at that moment. So then I just picked up the dress and marched on. That's what do they say? You have to. You can't. If you give in to something like that, then you're then I guess you didn't want it badly enough in the first place, according to me. So I don't know how you can give up a part of yourself.
Right.
It's not possible. I'm not that person.
Right.
So like I said, if somebody fell in love with me because of who I am, then why would I leave half of that person behind?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Saba, also women who focus on their career are always looked down upon, that they don't want to get married, or when they get married, they are the difficult ones. Tell me, while you were growing up, what was your idea of marriage, and where do you stand today on this aspect?
When I was very young, my father and my mother took me aside and said, you are never required to get married.
Wow.
They told me, I think I was 6. And they said, you never have to get married. And it's not something we require of you. It's not something we want you to do. If you want to do it, go ahead and do it. You are all right on your own. Do one thing, do us a favor, be happy and be solidly independent.
Amazing.
That's all that matters. And I think that stayed with me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I cannot go on about, I don't know anything about marriage, in all honesty. I haven't been in one. So I cannot say, I can't go on about the virtues or the lack thereof, about it. But I'm sure it's great. People are doing it for a reason. There's, it's great to have partnership. But whether you require marriage for that or not, the jury's out, honestly. I don't know if it's
Right. Just 2 questions. Saba, also I wanted to ask you, you didn't offer Danish that you wanted to sing for this
Oh no, I did. I very much did, very, very emphatically, but it came from him. He was like, come on, we have to sing this, and we tried.
Right.
And the accent, man, I don't speak the language.
Yeah.
You know, I don't speak Kashmiri, and I think it's also very important that the songs be sung by someone who's been born and brought up and who has Raj Begum as a point of reference.
True.
You know, I didn't know about Raj Begum till this film came to me.
Oh.
Yes, which is, I feel supremely impoverished because I'm a musician, and how tragic that I had no idea about this legend. But there are people who have breathed her music. You know, they have lived her music, and I think
Mashwat has done a great job.
That's who should have sung it. And as much as I would have loved to have, I think it was the right thing to do to choose someone from Kashmir, and we were very much agreed upon this, almost immediately.
Yeah. And Soni, lastly, I'm just tempted to ask this: the moment where she sings to her grandchild was so sweet, and then in the climax, of course, do you also sing to Raha? How's it like?
I do. I do. Every grandmother does. I think.
Yeah.